Alright kids, here we go. Now it's time for Chapter 5, Section 3, and the name of this is Solving Multi-Step Inequalities. So these aren't so bad, they just have multi-steps to them. So let's take a look at what we have to do for this. First of all, multi-step inequalities, it's just like solving multi-step equations. So you're going to follow the same rules, whatever is being added or subtracted, take care of that first, then take care of coefficients and so forth. So let's take a look at some examples. So let's say we had negative 11y minus 13 is greater than 42. Alright, so remember, with a multi-step equation, the first thing you would do is you would take care of any of the constants. So here we have minus 13. The opposite of minus 13 is plus 13. So we're going to do that on both sides. And when we do that, that's going to go away, and we're left with negative 11y greater than, and 42 plus 13 is going to be 55. So we're still not done. I want to get this y alone. Y has a coefficient of negative 11. To get rid of that, I'm going to divide both sides by negative 11, because the opposite of multiplication is division. That's going to go away, leaving y. Since I divided by negative, what happens to the symbol? It flips. So now I got 55 divided by negative 11. That's going to be negative 5. So now I know that y is less than negative 5. So if I want to graph this, there's negative 5. It's open because it's not equal to it, and since y is less than that, I'm going to shade in everything on the left. Alright, so now I'm going to put 2 up here. I want you to give them a shot. That one right there, and this one right here. So give those 2 a shot, and we'll go over the answer shortly. Alright, so here we go. So, this one right here, this 10, even though it doesn't have anything in front of it, you know it's positive because it doesn't have a negative sign there. The opposite of a plus 10 is minus 10. So I'm going to kill that with a minus 10 on both sides. That goes away. Now 23 minus 10 is going to be 13. So I have 13 is greater than or equal to negative 2w. Now, to get rid of this negative 2, it's multiplied by the w. Opposite of multiplication is division, so I'm going to divide by negative 2 on both sides. I have w there. Dividing by negative reverses that, flips it, and 13 divided by negative 2, that is going to be negative 6.5. And if you wanted to graph that, there's negative 6.5. And I know that w is greater than or equal to that, so that means it's going to be shaded in because of that equal. And since w is greater, it's going to go this way. This one right here, I'm going to subtract 11, because the opposite of plus 11 is minus 11. Do that on both sides. That's going to go away. 43 minus 11 is going to be 32. So if 32 is greater than negative 4y, opposite of multiplying by negative 4 is dividing by negative 4. I do that on both sides. So now I have y here, and 32 divided by negative 4 is negative 8. Now if I wanted to graph this one, there's a number line, negative 8, and I know that y is less than that. Since it's not equal, it's open circle, and a shade in right there. Okay, now let's take a look at this. 5 minus 6 times a number is more than 4 times a number plus 45. Alright, let's start at the beginning. 5 minus. So there's 5 minus. And 5 minus what? Well, 5 minus 6 times a number. Since I don't know what it is, I'm just going to write 6x. That's 6 times a number. Don't know what it is, so it's a variable. This is more. If they just write is, it's equal. When they write is more, boom. And it's more than what? It's more than 4 times a number. So there's 4 times a number. Plus what? 45. So now, let's solve this. So, what we're going to do is we are going to try and get rid of terms or consolidate terms little by little. So, here I've got a 5. Since there's nothing in front of it, I assume it's positive. And here I've got 45. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take away 5 from both of these signs, for both of these sides. When I do that, that goes away, and I'm left with minus 6x is greater than 4x, and 45 minus 5 is going to be 40, so I got plus 40. Now, what I want to do is I want to try and consolidate these like terms here. I've got negative 6x and I have plus 4x. So what I'm going to do is I am going to subtract 4x's on both sides. This goes away here and leaves me with 40. And right here, minus 6x's minus 4 more x's is going to be minus 10x. And some of you might be wondering, you might be thinking, hey, Mr. Wickwire, you subtracted on both sides. That looks an awful lot like a negative. How come we didn't flip it? Remember, we only flip the sign when we multiply or divide by a negative, not when we subtract. So now, I've got negative 10x is greater than 40. Well, I want to get this x alone. It's being multiplied by negative 10, so I'm going to divide by negative 10. This is where we flip because we're dividing by a negative. That goes away, and it leaves x. Flip the sign. 40 divided by 10 is 4, and it's negative. And that is our solution right there. Okay. Next one that I want to go over is one that involves distributive property. Alright, so let's take a look at this one. Solve 4 times the quantity 3t minus 5 plus 7 greater than or equal to 8t plus 3. I know it's long, who cares, step by step. First thing is, I can simplify this, use distributive property. So, 4 times this. 4 times 3t, that's going to be 12t. And now, 4 times minus 5, that's going to be minus 20. I still have my plus 7, greater than or equal to 8t's plus 3. Now, let's consolidate this stuff right here. Minus 20 plus 7, that's going to be minus 13. So now I have 12t minus 13 greater than or equal to 8t plus 3. So now what I'm going to do is let's consolidate these like terms here, 12t and 8t. So I'm going to take away 8t from both sides. This goes away, and I'm left with a plus 3. On this side right here, 12t's minus 8t's, that's going to be 4t's, and I still have my minus 13. Now, to get rid of this minus 13, I'm going to add 13 to both sides. That cancels. I'm left with 4t is greater than or equal to, and 3 plus 13 is going to be 16. Now, divide both sides by 4, because t is being multiplied by 4. The opposite of multiplication is division. That cancels, and I have t greater than or equal to, 16 divided by 4 is 4. So on a number line, there's 4. Since it's greater than or equal to, I shade it in because t could be equal to 4, and this goes on. Alright, so I'm going to have you try one that's nowhere near that complex. Try and do this one right here. 6 times 5z minus 3, and we've got 36z. Okay, so go ahead and give that a shot, and let's see how we do. Okay, distributive property. 6 times 5z is 30z. 6 times minus 3 is minus 18. Now, let's go ahead and consolidate like terms. I've got 30z's here, 36z's here, so let's kill off the smaller one. Opposite of this, and it's an assumed plus 30z when there's nothing in front of it. Opposite's minus 30z, do that on both sides. This cancels, I get negative 18 less than or equal to, and 36z minus 30z is going to be 6z. Now I want to get the z alone. Z is being multiplied by 6. Opposite of multiplying by 6 is dividing by 6. Do that on both sides. I get z greater than or equal to negative 3. Why did I not flip the sign? Because I was dividing by positive. So now on a number line, there's negative 3. And z is greater than or equal to, so I shade it in and shade on this side. Alright kids, so next ones I want to show you, these have to deal with empty sets and real sets. So basically whether or not solutions are real or not real, if they make sense. So let's take a look at this one. I've got 9x minus 5 times the quantity x minus 5 is less than or equal to 4 times the quantity x minus 3. Let's simplify. I've got 9x minus 5 times x is going to be minus 5x. Minus 5 times minus 5 is going to be plus 25. Less than or equal to 4 times x is going to be 4x. 4 times minus 3 is going to be minus 12. Now let's consolidate. 9x's minus 5x's, that's going to be 4x's. Still have a plus 25. Less than or equal to 4x minus 12. Now right away, something might be sticking out to you. You get the same thing on both sides. So if I subtract 4x from both sides, look what happens. I end up with positive 25 less than or equal to negative 12. Does this make any sense? Is 25 less than negative 12? No. Is it equal to negative 12? No. So what that means, this right here is a false statement. It's false. So since it's false, that means there's no solution. There's no number that you can put in for x that makes this true. Okay? Very important you know that. So now let's take a look at this one right here. 3 times 4x's is going to be 12x. 3 times plus 6 is going to be plus 18. Less than or equal to, I've got 42. And then I've got 6 plus 6 times 2x, that's going to be plus 12x. Plus 6 times minus 4, that's going to be negative 24. So now let's consolidate this. 42 minus 24 is going to be 18. So now we have 12x plus 18 less than or equal to 12x plus 18. So now let's get rid of these x's here. Take away 12x's from both sides. Bam, bam. So now I got 18 less than or equal to 18. Well, let's take a look at this. Is 18 less than 18? No, but it's less than or equal to, and 18 can be equal to 18. So what that means is that any number that we put in for x is going to make this inequality true. So any number could be the solution. All right? And that is Chapter 5, Section 3.